Hello, back to my channel. This is Early Career Academic. On this channel, I explore how I use the Passion Planner to set personal and professional goals. In this video, I'm going to show you another back page in the Passion Planner and how I intend to use it to keep track of the work that I owe my students in the spring semester. As I said, I am an academic, I am a mother, a cat mom, a wife, and a Passion Planner ambassador. And what that means is if you're interested in any of the Passion Planner products in this video, I do have an affiliate link in the description of the video along with a discount code that gives you an extra 10% off of any purchases that you make on top of any ongoing sales that Passion Planner is running. I really do appreciate it when you use those codes or when the code and or the link because it does support my planning habit and also this channel, just makes me smile every time I see a referral come in. So thank you for using that if you're using it. And if not, I really would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription if you're not already subscribed. So as I said, today we're going to tackle another back page in the Passion Planner. At the back of the planner, they have blank pages where you can, track things, you can, brainstorm concepts. I have made several videos now of the back pages and how I'm using them. They're super functional. Let's just put that out there. They're not pretty, but they work well for me. So it occurred to me as the semester kicked off that what I could really use is a page that describes what I owe my students, what work I owe my students every week. Because when you create a syllabus, which is what most teachers do for their students, it's for the students, right? They want to know when something is due, obviously, so they can plan on it. But it doesn't necessarily say what I owe them in that given week. So very often I'm having to keep this all in my head or, have to check in constantly with Blackboard and say like, what are they doing? What are they working on? How fast is the turnaround on that thing? Like how fast do I have to get it to them so they can do the next thing? And I just have nowhere it's written down. I just have to be constantly like nervous that I'm missing something or that I'm not like getting feedback to them fast enough. So I'm like, why don't I have a list, a table where I can see, exactly what I owe them. So actually what I was planning on doing was, measuring it out and making sure all the square, was like in a table format, the square is going to be perfect. But you know what? Let not perfection be the enemy of good, because I'm trying to squeeze this into one of my baby's naps. I honestly don't remember when I put her down for the nap, so she could be waking up at any time. I've just been kind of absorbed in what I was doing and not paying attention. So I would like to just get this done sooner rather than later. Now, it's going to be super functional. That is obvious. I might, though, come in with a couple of stickers from the Passion Planner Teacher Sticker Book and just jazz it up a little because I think it'll be kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. I do have a couple of markers pulled out for this week's colors that I'm using, and I just figured I might as well go ahead and keep using them. These are Crayola Super Tips. I think they'll be nice little additions. I'm going to start with the blue, I think. Sorry, dropped the cap. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and title this page, which I haven't been doing with the back pages, but I should start. And that is, we're going to go ahead and say student feedback. Most of the work I owe students is feedback related. So this is definitely an accurate description of what I would do for them, what work I typically have to do for them. And there are 15 weeks in the semester. So I'm going to go ahead and jot down these week numbers. You're already in the first week right now. So I was thinking to myself, how I wanted to spread the work out. And in the past, I have kind of let this week be more of a winter break buffer for myself, where I didn't really do anything because the students, they have to participate in a discussion forum, and it's not complete until Sunday, and then they turn something else in on Sunday as well. So I was like, well, it's not complete until Sunday, so I don't have to do anything until next week. But really that starts like a whole snowball effect, which can be problematic. So I am endeavoring to be a little more proactive. I also, you guys, I don't know how often, if this happens to you, but you can be kind of plugging along using a platform you've used for years, and not really think about how to make it easier or more streamlined or more manageable for yourself. Even though the feature that will help you has literally been there the whole time, you are still just kind of doing what you do, not really paying attention. That is me to a T. I found out that I could save drafts of feedback before I entered the grade in Blackboard. That's so obvious. That button has been there forever, but it didn't occur to me that I could do that so that I could do the laborious part of evaluating student work, which is the feedback, and then enter the grade when they have finished the activity, whatever it is. So anyway, I've been doing that all week. And it's actually kind of nice because I get to kind of go back and update it once they finished it, see their replies to each other, and it's not just a one-stop shop like it has been in the past. So in week 1, they have their intros that are due, and they have their first journals. And I would put the dates, except I know for almost every week in the term, it's a Wednesday, Sunday thing. And that's not super helpful to me. What really I want this is at a glance, I can be oh, what do I owe students this week? And that is replies to their intro posts. And that's all I do this week because the journal is due Sunday. So I'm counting that as the end of the week. So the next week picks up, and then what I will owe them is feedback on those journals. So that's where this is going to be super helpful to me, because that does not correspond with how it appears in the syllabus, because of course it's all about what the students owe me, not the other way around. So I am taking a look in week 2 to see what they're doing in that week. They have a discipline awareness discussion, and then another journal. And this journal is important, very important. So what I owe them on the discussion post is completion credit. I think, let me just double check. Yeah, essentially I'm looking at, did they complete that discussion post? Yes, okay, full credit. It's not evaluative. And if they didn't do what I asked them to, then they of course don't get the points. But what is really important about the work this week is this journal. So in week 3, they need my feedback on the journal posts, and they need that pretty quickly because they need to know what to do with the next step of the project. So I could kind of add that in here, but really this is already helping me think about how to parse my work. So in this week they have a quiz. Now the quiz is through Blackboard, it's auto graded to a certain extent, but there is one question that I input the grade two questions. One question I input the grade manually for, and the other one is an optional, do you have questions about this content type of thing. I give them credit regardless of whether or not they use that box for anything, but it does require me to input the credit. So this is all for week 3. They have this quiz, and they have, just checking real quick, they have the a source list and keywords journal. So they need my feedback on the research question journal. Then I do my input of the quiz points. And that's it for this week. So I'm actually I'm being a little persnickety here. What I should have done, so this is where a table would have been helpful, because then I could be like, oh, I'm still in week whatever. But we're just gonna get through this, because I really do need this, and I want to squeeze this in, as I said, before my daughter wakes up. And if she wakes up, whatever, I'll just cut the video so that I skip ahead to when I can resume. Okay, so in week 4, they do a citation chasing activity, and then they have a discussion post. So they have citation chasing map, and they have a post. And so what I will need to give them in this week is credit for the previous week's journal post. I do take a brief look at that, not just completion credit. In this case, it gives me an idea. I'll just put feedback so that I know, and then completion credit for the map, and that's if they actually follow all my instructions for that. And then the following week, they need feedback on the scholarly article post. And let's see, we're going to be in week 5. This is the week that they produce a spreadsheet of all of their research. And that's all they do the entire week. So I will owe them feedback on this, but then I won't have anything else in the week to give feedback on until the following week. So in the following week, they will need my feedback on the spreadsheets. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little star, because it's a big project, and I think I just need to alert myself that it's going to take more time than the other things, because it's large. It's a large project. So in this week, they do the annotation activity, and which I had to change recently because our college discontinued use of a specific platform I was using, which really pissed me off. Okay, and then they have the outline with intro due. Okay, so they need my feedback on the research spreadsheet and also feedback on the annotation. So this is going to be a feedback heavy week, which I'm glad I'm kind of starring it, because I just need to know that kind of ahead of time to prepare myself. Then in the following week, they absolutely need my feedback on the outline. And in this week, they have their first draft due. So they need my feedback on the outline, but then I need to give them feedback on draft in the following week. Okay, and this is spring break. Spring break. So you can see I did this on purpose. I use some of my spring break to give them feedback on their first drafts, because I think that you should, as a teacher of writing, give way more feedback on the first draft than you do on anything else. So I give myself a lot of time to do that, and I actually spend very little time on other drafts, even the final, because I front load my feedback to them. So in this week, they submit a second draft and do peer review with each other. So that takes the onus off me. I don't owe them anything. I could have one-on-one meetings if they want to go over their second draft with me. Let me just see. I think in week 10, polish your draft and optional. Yeah. So week 10, optional one-on-ones and the final is due. So there's actually nothing I do need to grade their peer review is the only thing. And so let me just double check when that deadline is. So they submit drafts on the 22nd, and then they have to feedback back to their peers on the end of this week. So during this week, I give them credit for peer review. So I get 1 week basically off, if you will, of having to provide feedback or grades, which is, I need that. We all need that, right? Every so often. Okay, so then in the following week, I have to grade their final papers. And let's see, we start a new project, the final project of the semester, and they have a discussion activity. And they have a journal, if I'm not mistaken. And depending on how this grading of finals goes, I think I might do, I might actually save the work from this week and do it in the following weeks. So I'm focusing on finals here. You see, there's one step in this project that they absolutely need my feedback on really rapidly. So they do another discussion board post, which is completion credit. And then they do a plan document, and this needs my rapid fire feedback. So sometimes also I do class-wide feedback where I point out certain students' work and as examples of what I'm looking for. So here and there I might come back after. My baby's like stirring, so I'm trying to like pound this out. So this is when they workshop each other's rough drafts, and I don't have to do anything besides provide credit for that. And then in the final week, their final projects are due, and they the final. I skipped a week. But this is true, final projects. So I skipped a week. Hold on. I'm going back. This is optional one-on-ones. So they do a workshop of their drafts, and then during this they have an option to meet with me to discuss their final project if they want. But we don't have anything due or that I owe them. And then we have the final projects, and I grade the final projects. Plus I give them extra credit for completing a course evaluation. Like, I can't see who does it, but I can see how many of them do it, and they offer them an incentive to do it. So I think the only thing I'll come back and add, which will take a little more mental energy on my part, is when I might do class-wide feedback, because that sneaks up on me sometimes, and I would like to just notate to myself when I'm planning on doing that. I might have to go back and look at my old announcements to see when I did it last semester. I think that's it for today's video. Thank you for following along. I hope this was maybe inspiring or helpful. If you have something that something you need to reference all the time and you keep it in your head, I mean, that's taking up a lot of real estate, and we have a lot going on. Those of you who watch this video probably have a lot going on. I know I do. So maybe there's a back page you can devote to kind of brain dumping, so that you can come and reference this when you need to, and also really plan out the work that you actually have to do for a project, or for a work obligation in this case, something like that, so that you can kind of automate a little bit of it. You don't have to be thinking about it constantly. Again, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. I am going to slap some stickers on here, but my baby just woke up, so I'm going to go grab her. If you want to see what the final spread looks like with the stickers, then you can follow me on Instagram. And I will post a picture of this after this video goes up. Also, I'll probably do a flip through of the back pages again at some point in the semester, so you can take a look. Even if you're not on Instagram, you can see how it all turned out. Or perhaps I'll put a picture at the end of this video just so you can see, because I don't want to, I don't want to assume that you're on Instagram. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. I really appreciate it. Bye.